Now, when half the electorate views universities with suspicion, political support for public investment evaporates. Tuition rises, debt increases, and the very problem that fuels skepticism, unaffordability, gets worse. It is a vicious cycle. So, what do we do? How can universities meet this moment? First, we need to take criticism seriously. Not all of it is fair, but not all of it is unfair either. Universities have become less socioeconomically diverse. Administrative costs have ballooned. In our pursuit of prestige, we've sometimes lost sight of mission. When critics say universities serve elites, they're not entirely wrong. But I think a better criticism is that universities only communicate with elites. We need a brand based communications program that emphasizes the value that universities bring to students and their families, to innovation and the economy, to the overall competitiveness of America. And we need vocal and media savvy supporters other than the universities themselves making the case. How great would it be if Joe Rogan devoted some of his hours to higher education? Or how about a group of NFL players who got their bachelor's degrees as well as their football bona fides from schools like Penn State or Cal? Think about that. Second, we need to recommit to access and affordability. This means advocating for increased public funding, and that should be part of every campaign for a state legislator in Pennsylvania and in California. But are we spending money wisely on administration? Can we find efficiencies without sacrificing quality? What role can AI play in cutting down administrative costs? These are tough questions, but they're management questions. Ask them, and we need to act on them. Third, we need to rebuild trust through transparency. Universities often speak in jargon and hide behind credentials. We need to explain what we do and why it matters in language that non specialists can understand. When we make mistakes, and we do, we need to acknowledge them rather than defend ourselves reflexively. Trust is earned through demonstrated trustworthiness, not through assertions of expertise. Fourth, we need to prove our value beyond the economic. Yes, college graduates earn more on average, but if that's the only argument we make, we reduce education to workforce training and ourselves to credentialing agencies. We need to articulate why higher education matters, why studying philosophy or literature and history, especially history, isn't frivolous, but essential to being an informed citizen. We need to show, not just claim, that we're serving the public good. Fifth, we need to actively cultivate intellectual diversity and viewpoint diversity. Now, this doesn't mean abandoning rigorous standards or giving equal time to pseudoscience. It means creating space for good faith disagreement, ensuring that students encounter serious arguments from multiple perspectives, and modeling how to engage with ideas we find challenging or even wrong. If universities are to be training grounds for democratic citizenship, they need to feel less like echo chambers and more like forums where real deliberation matters. I must say, that is easier said than done. Sixth, we need to address the student debt crisis directly. This means supporting policy solutions at the federal level, but also examining our own financial aid practices. Are we packaging aid in ways that minimize debt? Are we being honest with students about likely returns on investment for different degrees? Are we doing enough to support students from low income backgrounds, not just in accessing college, but in completing their degrees and transitioning to careers. And finally, we need to strengthen our connections to the communities around us. Universities can't be, to use the cliche, ivory towers. I've never actually seen an ivory tower, but that's the cliche. Separate from the places they inhabit. We need to be partners in local problem solving. We need to be resources for communities and good neighbors. This means everything from opening our facilities to community use, to ensuring our research addresses local needs, to creating pathways for non traditional students to access education throughout their lives. Now, let me close with this. The decline in public confidence in higher education is not happening in isolation. It is part of a broader crisis of institutional trust, a broader sorting of American life by education and geography and political tribe. And that crisis, that diminution in trust, threatens our way of government itself. But universities are not passive victims of these trends. We have agency. We can choose to be worthy of trust. We can choose to serve the whole public, not just the already advantaged. We can choose to be places where democracy is practiced, not just studied. This will require courage. Courage. The courage to question our own assumptions, to prioritize mission over prestige, to engage with critics instead of dismissing them. It will require humility, the recognition that we don't have all the answers, that other forms of knowledge and other kinds of institutions have value too. But it is worth doing. Because when American universities thrive and serve their democratic purposes, everyone benefits. We get more discovery, we get more opportunity, we get more informed citizens, more capacity to solve the problems we face together. That's the university I believe in. That's the university I hope we can build and sustain. And that's the university our democracy needs.